What the rock is cooking.
Recording live from 3. Count them 3 locations.
This is Past the Rock.
I am Patrick, and as always, I am joined by 2 great men. Jacob, aka Bethke.
And one great kitten, but he's come here. You know, you wanted to be here. You're here now. Oh,
There it is.
Oh, all right. Back to your.
And of course, we're also joined by Caesar, aka LCs.
What to do, everybody? I do not have a kitten or any kind of pet to show on camera, but just know I have 5 of them running around this house.
So one might actually just pop
We
up
could-
every.
Might,
Could
maybe.
get a pop in.
The odds are likely.
And the
Yeah.
first time balls were ever shown on this show, it was courtesy of one of my dogs,
But not the lets.
but not
man.
dogs.
Yeah, we'll leave that for when we start making money. Once we start streaming to OnlyFans instead of
Yeah.
YouTube.
Sure.
Yeah, so we are
Exclusive
back.
content you can only.
We are back this week. I'm gonna call my own foul now, and we don't have a whole lot of video production. But it's okay. We're gonna get through it with our words because this is a podcast. We're gonna be casting some pods. We've been starting with
Some Tide
music
Pods,
lately.
baby.
We're cast the Tide Pods. Yeah, we've been doing music lately, so we're gonna do a little bit here, not as much as we probably have. We're probably not as excited this week as some of the other weeks, but there was a kind of a big one in the world of hip hop. Chance the Rapper looking to bounce back from a poor display, some might say, with his previous.
He's
work.
bouncing back from a happy marriage that
Well,
is no longer happy.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
Yeah.
this is kind of the way, though. If there was a way to rehab your image in this industry, this is sort of the thing you lean on.
Yeah, and I think he did a good enough job where you can just be like, okay, your trajectory is back upwards. I don't think he necessarily does anything to overly impress, but again, that kind of wasn't ever really his game before. He was never really overly impressive in any one facet, I wouldn't think. Just entertaining as hell.
Entertaining,
a lot of
very,
charisma.
You know,
No
I
one
think
can
the-
repeat a phrase 8 times the way he can, and vibe
very-
just right.
Yeah, very specific cadence to his voice, and then I think with the beats, it's if you like not like all of them are, but a lot of the beats are very clunky, and I don't necessarily mean that as a negative thing. I just
They're
mean
almost-
that
they're almost
complex.
schizophrenic.
Yeah, there's a lot happening with the beats.
Layers. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chance,
I would say layers is
especially-
very much.
especially when you're going through acid rap, it's if you're trying to listen to that out of the speaker on your phone, you're missing a good amount of what he's layered into there,
Yeah,
or whoever produced it. It obviously didn't have the studio budget that someone else bigger than him might have, but he still made it work.
yeah, that would have still been a tape technically.
And then this run, Starline, pretty good. Like I said, it's a nice little bounce back. The highs aren't any of his highest, but the lows are so far above the lowest that you feel okay about it.
You know, I was telling a buddy of mine who loved acid rap, but wasn't a Chance fan necessarily, and he just loves to shit on. I guess he just likes to hate on records that aren't necessarily amazing. And he's like, I don't get what the hype is about all of this, and I just telling him, listen, I haven't heard the album, but I'm like, listen, the bar was in hell. All right, the bar was so low that anything he did that cleared the bar was going to elicit a response from the fan base, his fan base, of just euphoria, if not exaggerated to the nth degree, because it wasn't dog shit. It wasn't dog shit. There was not going to be another meme video of, oh, I love my wife. I love my wife. There wasn't going to be none of that. It was like, even in even if there was like a bad song, as long as the rest of the album was just okay, that gave them hope, and hope is a dangerous thing for a fan base. I should know, because all the way back in 2015, one of my favorite artists at the time dropped one of the worst albums I've ever heard. It's still probably the absolute worst dog shit thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Speeding Bullet to Heaven. All right.
Who is this?
Kid
Cuddy.
Oh,
He dropped,
okay.
he dropped the
This was the
worst
rock
fucking
album.
thing ever.
It
This was like the psychedelic rock album.
I was gonna say, whose rock album is worse, though,
I
Cuddy or Wayne?
agree. I said this back then too. The Tame Impala Cuddy album was funny, but it was
That's got
more
Tame
cringe.
Impala?
No, it doesn't.
It's just,
it's
just,
okay.
it was,
It's like
it
a
was the
sounds
vibe.
like Tame Impala.
It was I wouldn't
Not
even
even.
go that far. I would just say that that's probably most likely what he was listening to and or trying to fit in with when he made that album, in my opinion, because that was a very big moment for that sound.
I do want to ask again:
He
is it
wanted
better or worse than
but
Lil
no,
Wayne's?
Lil Wayne's rock album will always be worse, dude. That is literally processed bullshit. It's so bad that it's kind of great. That's the only argument you would have for Kid Cudi, is that it's a boring bad album.
I don't know, man. That shit was okay. So you know what it is? It's authentically bad. It is authentic because he had his fingerprints all over every single song, the direction, the production, all of that. And you're like, you know what? He made this with his heart and soul. It was terrible. Lil Wayne's was like, yeah, this is just like,
Lil Wayne was corporate bullshit.
It was corporate
bullshit.
Yeah, he has always been more about the bag than Kid Cudi has. So
there was a lot of rich people making decisions on behalf of that album. Rebirth.
And so
a lot of pharmaceuticals and
I can die. Rebirth. Drop the World song was off that album. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was.
Fast forward.
That was a single. It's its own single. I don't think it made the rock album.
Oh, which one?
I think
the one he did with Eminem. I think brought Eminem back.
I think it's on the deluxe one. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's on the deluxe of that album. But yeah,
anyway,
I think you're right. That was how it
Let me tell you how much I genuinely loved that song when it came out, and then now I'm kind of like, which I would say is a common
oh yes, I know which one you're talking about.
common theme with Eminem songs is the first couple times I hear them, I'm like clever, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking about this more with your favorite new rapper and a lot of this other generation, is I think that the sons are better than the father, but I don't know if that's too hot of a take yet. I like the sons more. I like the sons more than the father when it comes to that style.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to the analogy, or I guess the comparison I'm making here.
It is on Rebirth. You're right. Sorry.
So
because he says the cringy part of it. I can die now, Rebirth.
Yeah, you're right. He's out.
He said the name of the title.
He's out.
He said it. But yeah, anyway, back to the comparison
Eminem,
here.
That era where he just sings on layered on top of himself. Sorry, go ahead, Caesar.
No, you're good. Anyway, he drops that dog shit album. Then someone just goes into his ear and is like, "Hey, man, maybe you should kind of go back to what you were making beforehand." He's like, "I don't know if I can remember how to do any of that shit. Let me go get Let me go get Pharrell and see if he can help me rehabilitate." Then he drops Demon Slay, Passion Pain and Demon Slay, and it was like, oh my god,
B plus
this
album.
Is so below, like this is like just slightly above what Speeding Bullet to Heaven was, right? He had like maybe 2 or 3 songs that like would ever stand the test of time. In comparison to the rest of his catalog.
A solid mid. Yeah, I hear you from that point of view. Yeah. I thought if it stands alone, it's sort of solid mid.
Yeah, and so that just let the entire fan base, who wasn't, just absolutely disillusioned at that point, everybody else was like, oh shit, he still has it somewhere. He still has it somewhere in there. And then, fast forward to 2017, 2018, 2019, where he reunites with Kanye, and it does just like, oh, there's the old Cudi that we know and love, right? With Kids See Ghosts, his third installment of Man on the Moon. Even if Man on the Moon 3 is his worst effort in that series, you still see the highs, and the lows aren't as bad as Speeding Bullet to Heaven or whatever the fuck he was doing on Wizard.
Oh yeah, the Wizard one is kind of funny too.
That's like a group project, right?
I mean, it's not the Genius and Cudi, and it's like all over the place.
It's less. He obviously didn't want to put it out under his name, so it's.
I mean,
it also might have been able stuff.
Yeah, and there was that weird time where like he was really 2012, 2013 to 2015 is that weird like why is he trying to do a rock phase, and why is he like trying to be Kurt Cobain in the rap game but not really
and also you have to pull up the IMDb because then it's also now on Kid Cudi the artiste, the thespian. Which he hasn't been that bad at crossing over.
I think he's been good in everything I've seen him act in.
So
He's a
I,
fun-
That's
I
not
think
a
that
lot.
it's fair for him.
Yeah, man.
Now he's kind of got another pop again. I don't know what is he being in. Why am I seeing Kid Cudi more often now?
I have no idea, man. He's coming out with another album, which even though he said
There's your answer.
when Man on the Moon
Comes
3 was
out
going to be his last
this
effort,
Friday,
and then
so we could talk about on Friday. Free
I see.
by
Okay.
Kid Cudi.
I don't know, man.
I've seen
The one
quite a
before-
bit of
not that good.
his interviews, so I figured there had to be something on the
There's
pipeline.
3 singles that I haven't heard yet.
He's running out of ideas, and it's sad. I'm like, hey,
Well,
man,
you have to reinvent. You have to get older, and you have to not become a Nazi.
the
Those
problem
are like
is
the 3
he's-
core tenets.
Right now, only one of those is really important.
Yeah. Right now, he's not really reinventing himself. It's all kind of just when he does try to reinvent himself, he tries to go into trap beats, and that's when he just sounds really out of place. I'm like, that's not your game, man. That's not your lane, and that's not your
It's a
sound.
weird year because hip hop's having one of its most successful years in a while. It feels like, but it also feels like it's a strange future for the genre.
Oh, for sure. But anyway,
Well,
that's all that to say is that gave hope to Cudi fans. This new album that Chance put out gave hope to his fans that he's not a lost cause.
Yeah, and the last thing I would say on it, right before Big Day came out, he put out some singles that I was like, these are really cool. Now, none of them I don't think made the album, like Security and Workout and a couple of other ones.
Unfortunately, he had a really good one with R. Kelly, but yeah,
I
that song. Honestly, I hate to
Depending
say it,
if-
it's a
if-
really good song.
If
but
all R. Kelly's
yeah,
doing is singing the hook, I'm probably cool to listen to it. But if I gotta listen to him try to do a verse,
So here's the problem. No, the song is really good. Like it might be
Yeah,
one of my
most of
favorite
R. Kelly
Chance
songs
the
are pretty
Rapper's,
cool sounding.
songs. And yes, it is appropriate use of I guess of R. Kelly's. Unfortunately, not only does the cancel culture aspect of it actually sort of apply here, since this man has literally gone to jail for all this. R. Kelly has actually faced.
Yeah,
the
Chance isn't
criminality of
exactly
this.
old enough to have a song with R. Kelly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And so that's unfortunately a part of it. But then it was also literally removed from streaming for quite a while, I think up until last year. So
That makes sense.
it had been put back. So, yeah, I mean, look, he's been a pretty solid artist his whole career. But I think that he unfortunately, the Pablo rollout was more of a future look at the manic state of Kanye and things around him than it was that he was still the tastemaker and the one anointing the future.
But
I felt like
Chance still put out 3 or coloring books or whatever after that.
Coloring Book comes out, but even Coloring Book is like, okay, yeah, it has like the mixtape song that
It's
was
just a way
really
poppier
popular. It
version
had
of Chance.
there was another really poppy song, so he probably had 2 of his biggest pop hits off of Coloring Book.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
But he has a massive. What I'm saying is Pablo set him up to be. Honestly, it set him up to fail, even if he ended up succeeding and then failing.
And I would mention that
Oh,
his verse
man.
on Ultralight Beam is one of the best rap verses I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I mean, it's so good that it literally, like there are way better verses, even in my opinion, that have been cut from Kanye albums because the decision making of a man will never understand completely, and that one made it. You know what I mean?
And let's not forget the irony of that verse. I met Kanye West. I'm never going to fail. Proceeds to fail every step of the way after.
Has he failed? He still.
Yeah.
No, he failed. He had an entire arena
stumbled.
tour canceled because his album was dog shit. Like
in fairness to him, a lot of people were having arena tours canceled around the time, and it wasn't COVID. It was just reality of
money.
People book over. Well, there were people being overbooked in arenas they don't quite fit in. They should be at if you're a Dallas native, they should be at the pavilions, not the American Airlines Center. But they were booking American Airlines out of.
I think.
No, but even then, he never went
Toyota.
and got another tour set up. Like,
yeah, well, that is really bad. But I'm saying that was actually happening with a lot of pop acts. Like I think Katy Perry had to deal with the same issue. There was a lot of people that were in the same sphere of we're really popular, but we're not necessarily like the thing right now. There was a lot of agencies or whoever's the record labels basically really cocky, just booking arenas for these artists when the reality of who they actually are and what they sell to is much different.
And then also this last week, we got the 3rd Juicy J album of the year. I already forgot what it's called,
I just had it pulled up. It's just it's a little jazz album. That's pretty cool.
But it's basically a jazz album, and he hops on like 3 of the tracks. Pretty cool little listen if you like listening to. I'm trying to think of
Caught
which
Up in This Illusion, which is also a pretty
type
cool
of jazz it is. It's almost soul, more. It's because it's not like. Probably maybe along the lines of like Miles Davis era jazz.
Yeah,
but well, it's not big band. It's not slow jam.
I wasn't able to get into it too much, but I do think that for him, I would not be surprised, like many others, when it comes to using strings in hip hop, are probably going to lean towards the ones that they've previously sampled, or more often than not have sampled, which may or may not be samples of actual previously made like kind of like jazz material, or is spin-offs of it. Because I mean, these guys, Juicy J in particular, he and like 5 other hip-hop artists are kind of the pioneers of soul sampling, more or less.
Digging the crates.
They've all done it differently, right? Him, Rakim, RZA, rather, Kanye, Q-Tip probably would be the 4 more important ones in that group. And so like those are the soul sampling maestros. Premier is a big one. So that's just probably what I would assume that they go through. And if you listen to like some Project Pat, it's really hilarious the kind of upscale like stuff that Juicy was cutting up to put behind cocaine selling music. You know what I mean?
I think one of my favorite non-album Kanye releases from the Good Fridays, what was it, The Joy, which was I believe that was a Pete Rock.
They threw the Joy, yeah, Pete Rock. You're right. Pete Rock deserves to be on that list. They did put it on
they
threw that one on
Deluxe
I
or
think
something.
That's on Deluxe.
Yeah.
Watch the Thrones now. If you're on streaming nowadays, they just launch it all. If it came out, if they re-release like Beatles albums in the streaming era, I'm honestly surprised they didn't just throw like
it might be more difficult
onto Revolver.
Yeah, it might be more difficult with something that old.
Yeah,
or just that established. But
yeah, they didn't want to.
The way Pete Rock captures the vinyl on the actual literal vinyl crackles on the Joy.
Pete Rock has some incredible stuff. Jay Dilla is probably another one that I should mention. Ninth Wonder. There's, like I said, soul sampling and hip hop.
Pretty much,
industry.
If you like jazz, you like hip hop jazz, you're gonna enjoy this, even if it's just a once through. And then you mentioned earlier that maybe in a dream world we'll get some Andre 3000 and Juicy J jazz hookups.
That'd be great.
I mean, this is kind of fun though, right? Like Nas is making old man raps.
Juicy J is, so you wonder like what would John Lennon or Jimi Hendrix be doing if they were alive now?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least with hip hop, we have some of these guys who aren't just taking the freaking pick a rock band route, Kiss, whatever, just doing the same show.
The rock band stuff is very unfortunate because I think for rock music,
at least Ringo tries out country music from time to time.
I would say the best band to use as a descriptor is AC/DC because it's actually kind of impressive how long he's
been wearing that little boy's school uniform.
Well, so there's that, and then you switch the lead singer in the early years, and that's
Journey,
a whole big thing.
Yeah, Journey could probably also get a
right. No, but here's the thing. AC/DC has consistently been pumping music out. Every decade, you get at least 2 albums. That's true. Look at still even in this list.
Okay, so just them and the Stones then.
And if you listen to the albums, but the Stones have. I don't even know if the Stones have released albums in the last decade or 2.
They absolutely
they were on pace. Yeah, so a lot of those are probably sound
god awful.
They probably sound somewhat like they're trying to attempt different things. AC/DC still sounds like they're trying to figure out ways to create the same song over again this many decades in, and you kind of have to respect it. It's kind of impressive.
As someone who likes to write songs but not always record or release them for anyone else, I can tell you it's tough not to write the same song a bunch.
AC/DC doesn't agree. They think it's easy. But yeah, so we'll see. I guess Kid Cudi next week.
Yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up music talk this week.
Wait, one last thing.
I'm so sorry.
I got an album for people to check out. All right, it is fantastic. All right, listen, I know if you hear the words house music, you have a certain scene in your head, but this one is black house music. It's Kate Tronada. All right, he does the sound absolutely wonderful, takes it to its roots from the days in the Chicago warehouse scene of like the 80s, 90s, and brings it. Yeah, and he brings it into the more modern age. You probably
give me body.
And you've definitely heard his production. There's plenty of artists that reach out to him for
K-Tronada is really good.
What's the name again?
The name of the album or the name of the artist?
Artist K-Tronada.
K-Tronada.
Tronada, like K-A, like K Jewelers, like K.
K-A-Y.
Yeah.
Got it. Found it. Sorry.
Yeah. You should honestly dive that one. I don't think he's got that much work out. I've seen him do a DJ set at ACL. Not
he's younger than I am.
Yeah, and he's been around for a hot minute. But listen, his album Timeless was great. Ain't No Damn Way. That's the new one that's come out recently. He's done a collab album with what's his freaking name? Amine. If you like Amine.
Yes, there is a K, and that's a good one. That's a
Amine.
It's a good album.
Honestly, his entire catalog, despite not having like a ton of albums, I think they've all been hits. So definitely worth checking out. Ain't No Damn Way by K-Tronada. Space Invader is one of those absolute banger opening tracks that set the tone for the rest of the album.
I think K-Tronada has also been able to get production credits on some bigger hip hop albums over his run.
Absolutely. Oh, and he has a rare TLC feature.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, honestly, talking about so like his first album that I think I noticed was 16, and you got like Vic Mensa on it. You got like Fonte from Little Brother, Anderson
Craig David.
You got Sid. Yeah, Craig David. You got Sid from what's it called?
All feature and the internet. Yep.
The internet. Yeah, Ice Age. And then the 10% with Kali Uchis. That song went really hard.
Oh, he was on Damn.
Yes. K-Tronada was on Damn. Like I said, he's been
quality track.
Yes, K-Tronada's been doing really well.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I think when I look at his albums, you don't even have to catch that much up. There's good chunk
only
actually.
5,
I do actually need to catch some up on some of this recent stuff. Looks like he's getting more productive these last couple of years.
It's about half a work day, probably, depending on how long they are.
And he got one of the better performances out of Childish Gambino I've heard in a while with his song "Witchy" from last year. Absolutely no business getting that kind of performance out of him. And he did it.
I would say that, and maybe this plays into Caesar, because I know house music. I know that it's also been heavily saturated over the last decade specifically. But for what I like about K-Tronada is I've been to house shows. My friend, our friends are very house heavy heads, and I've gone to. I've probably seen DJs that I should be thankful to have seen and don't even remember their name. But a lot of that music kind of bored me because it's just very boring.
It all blends together at some point if you're
to some extent, right? And K-Tronada has been one of those artists where I don't have that. Honestly, like the fact that these houses just sort of, it's obvious, but it's not. Like I don't know, like it's not subdued, but it doesn't feel as housey as all the other bullshit.
One of the things that I've seen online is that his style just appeals more to a certain demographic, and then the other one, and that's why it feels fresh and doesn't get stale. Well, so the other house demographics, you're like, yeah, jump up and down, flashing lights. Whereas his, it's more like you're vibing. You're just nodding your head, maybe dance a little bit, enjoying yourself, losing yourself in the music. Well, as opposed to like you got other house music where it's like, oh my god, I'm rolling my tits off. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Last thing I have on him, he did a song for Sesame Street featuring Common that was produced with Bad Bad Not Good. Nice. That's a weird Mad Lib of things together, and I like it.
They all sort of work.
There's nothing really out of place except you just don't see all those names together in one place. Sesame Street's the most out of place, but cool.
I would say Common, because Common be passing up on a lot of songs that you're just like, man, your catalog could be so much better if you just stop passing up on some of this stuff.
It's okay. He got
one more.
He got the best Kanye produced album probably ever, even of Kanye's own discography. So I think that's more than B is crazy. B is like, I honestly, I don't think that if Kanye was more established when that album comes out, I don't even think Common gets those beats. Like, I really,
Probably
I mean,
not.
he was, I guess, actually, that was like 07.
I was gonna say because he
But,
uses
yeah.
one of them for Everything I Am, right? On
Yeah,
Graduation.
one of them gets cut and put on Everything I Am. Yeah, so that is 07.
Where I think it might be the first example of what we got with modern Kanye, where he has a bar that he never actually makes a bar, where he just goes.
Yeah,
2005.
The,
That's when B came out. 2005.
B is
so.
2005. Yeah,
So that
yeah.
would make
So
sense.
Kanye's not quite dominant enough. He's
Yeah.
successful, but he hasn't.
I mean,
Stronger hasn't come out, and
I was gonna
once
say,
Stronger
he had
comes
Gold
out, then it's
Digger
different.
and Jesus Walks at that point,
Right.
but
So very successful, but Stronger was then it was like, oh shit, okay.
yeah.
Well,
I
this
mean,
guy
that's the
gets
one that
to
got
do
me.
whatever he wants.
That's the one that got me for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Oh damn it! You have to give me like 3 seconds. I'll do it again.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Speaking of,
Yeah. Our one hockey story of the week, saw this pop up this morning. Kind of interesting. Stars major trade deadline acquisition Mikko Rantanen is facing an $85,000 euro fine for not reporting to the Finnish army April of last year.
Okay.
So they've got, like a lot of countries have, there's a certain amount of conscription you have to do.
yeah, no,
and
Lauri
he-
Markkanen is
he
Finnish, and he had to miss some
Didn't
time.
go and then put in an application to be waived, basically, but it was a day late. So the lawyers are like, "You're going to pay for that day." And it's another interesting part of it
Pretty
is
funny.
it has to do with it's like connected to your like a percentage of your salary. So
That's why it's so
so
ridiculous.
that's a little bit higher.
I got you.
I'm sure he's going to fight it. Not really that interesting, but kind of interesting, just because that's not something that happens to American athletes yet.
Yeah, no,
That'll be
it may
National
not have
Guard duty
to
soon.
actually. No other country produces dumb people like we do.
That's definitely not true.
I mean, that's fair. We could.
There's
we could
different
try.
types of dumb, but
We've been out there working hard lately.
I think we also only really see what's going on here. We're not really paying attention anywhere else.
yeah, and the Finnish army is cool. I like that. Obviously, the thing is with Finnish, Well,
I've been
You
told
got
it
it.
doesn't exist. I thought it was a fake country. The Russians and the Japanese made it up so they could get more fishing land.
yeah, I was just about to say, are they a part of? Yeah, so Finland, like, you do have to sort like. They're not thinking about current world events.
Oh yeah, anyone in North or East Europe is
So
keeping an
I don't
eye
know.
on the
But
situation.
this was it's just funny to hear because this was kind of whimsically played in the NBA media when it came to Lauri Markkanen a couple years ago.
Sure, and we see it a lot in baseball with Korean players, and you see it some in golf, obviously with Korean golfers, because I know South Korea has conscription as well.
Yes, Korea.
I assume Israel does, but they don't really have a ton of just top end athletes.
I thought you were going to say they don't have any conflicts that they're.
No, they just don't have any top end athletes in any of the sports I'm watching.
What country is that? I've never heard of that country before.
Israel.
I recognize it. No, I recognize it. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I had on hockey. Season is coming up soon, so sprinkling in a little bit here and there to get us ready for that. But then, lastly, we'll move to some basketball talk. We're going to start with the worst thing I've ever seen, which is probably the point, but I also hate it, which is the Houston Rockets schedule release video, which on a number of levels, I didn't know the NBA did this. I don't know why they do. They have 82 games.
So I don't know that the NBA does this.
They're just copying football.
I think that unfortunately social media teams more or less have caused this. The fact that people have to do what in corporate America I like to call justifying your salary. And yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't even see that much shock about it. I see a lot of people kind of just roasting it like we are. What confuses me and what I was trying to understand and what I guess I assumed when I first saw it was not just that this is some of the worst content I've probably ever consumed.
You didn't think it was like satire or parody at first?
Well, no, I just thought this was already a popular established person or trend.
He
or
is
something.
he is an established person,
Okay.
sort of. From what I've read, this guy named Trent Miller is
Uh-huh.
a South Central Texas realtor.
Okay, so he's
Um,
around the area, and this
So
is
there's
his real
videos, yeah,
estate.
there's videos of him doing this stuff in Houston. Pretty much the same exact video every time.
Right. No, it seemed like there was a gimmick being done, like the window thing. Like what? Like let me just demonstrate for the people. He's looking at the window. He's like,
I should wait. Can you do that again?
like this guy's just. It's hard because I have to think now, but this guy's just standing there.
Well,
He's
it's
like,
also difficult because no one's built like this dude. He's built like Slender Man.
yeah.
He can bend in crazy ways. It's just this really annoying kid running around yelling at you for really. It's a really long video for what it is. I bet
It doesn't actually really clearly give you much of.
you get some theme night giveaway stuff.
Oh, that's true. And you know what? I did like that they celebrated the Rockets they traded away. I actually want more teams to do shit like that.
But yeah, I feel like it gave me cancer. And
Yeah, no,
I
you
think-
look at that and you're like, oh yeah, they're going to do a lot of studies about how warped our brains are very soon.
yeah, that guy's like 21, 22. He's very young. He's been doing that to sell houses for a while.
No, I mean, and he's right to do it because
Good for him. I mean, I'm not
the
going to knock
strategies
him.
prove that. But
I find it abhorrent,
This is
but
trouble.
you do you.
no, well, yeah, I mean, it's the reality is that's going to stick out in today's current landscape, and so. You know, we're not talking about the other 29 teams, whether they did or did not release a schedule one.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, and they're getting what they want out of it.
And you are
They'll be
right.
able to be handle being roasted though, so I hope they're ready for it.
And you are right, by the way. This is an absolutely unnecessary thing for any team, but even I don't even like the NFL one that much.
The
but
only
at least
reason it
it's
works
sort
for the
of-
NFL is because there's so few games.
Yeah, but even then, it's like there are kind of a lot. Like those videos are sometimes a little long. I like it when they do the ones where they really hit
Yes, you want
they
it to
make
be
fun of their
quick.
rivals the most, and then
And really, only the Chargers should be doing it at this point because no
Yeah.
one else has proven that they can. come
True. I
close.
mean, that's a good point. Even a lot of the Cowboys have made some of the absolute worst content, but like kind of the best content ever of the last couple
Well,
years.
it's all
still
so
try.
Cowboys that yeah.
It's
I just thought of
all
this.
cringe.
I just thought of this in real time. When they release the MLB schedule next year, be on the lookout for my 30-minute MLB schedule video.
No, I would love that, but I want it to be a genuine one where it's just some old guy in like a visor with his manual stat sheet.
So
and he's just-
June 15th, game 67.
and he's like,
It'll be
he's
the
like
fifth
doing
game
a-
against the A's, this time in
He's like doing-
Sacramento.
He's like doing a projected rotation throughout the whole year.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
that
you
would be
know-
amazing.
You know how we go through and pick how we think our football teams are going to do win-loss? I'm going to do it for the Rangers. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it shouldn't happen. I think, like you said, I think football is even oversaturated. If it's not that good, just don't post it. But
again, I mean, justify your salary. These are people trying to make a living in an industry that's very dominant, but also kind of stupid
I've heard
inherently.
some talk about this. I think I was listening. I think I heard this subject on both the Ticket and on the Dome Zone podcast about beat writers during football. Uh-oh. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Okay. You got the same exact clip of Dak throwing a pass in practice from 8 different beat writers. That's like they have to do it because one did it, and now they all have to do it. But really, they don't.
Yeah, but who's their boss? You know, does the boss think
That's the
logically?
question.
Because a lot of these people want their social media following. Like, I just saw Denzel throw some shade at the industry, which
Yeah.
has been coming under fire recently because people are allegedly being casted. And maybe this isn't allegedly, maybe it's easier to prove, but they're being casted based off of Instagram numbers and not based off of necessarily the quality of work.
I mean, Disney or Marvel straight up got the female lead for that Moon Knight show by DMing a woman on Instagram who I don't think she was a very well established, at least definitely not that highly established of an actress, but they liked the look, so
And I
she
mean,
must
it's
have had the following.
in a way, it's fair, it's beautiful. You know, you get your start anywhere kind of thing. I do agree with that. But at the same time,
that's a way to get around nepotism, I guess.
of
if
course,
those
it's
people
like-
aren't investing already as kids into a bigger following.
yeah. And of course, it's like, yes, naturally you would hope that the best movies of the year are going to have the best cast because the directors are going to want that, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it's just making like the slop we see less interesting because it's just kind of honestly like pretty people in boring movies where it used to be interesting actors in boring movies. How many times did Nick Cage or Denzel get us to watch a shitty movie when we were kids? That's
What's
what I'm
funny
saying.
is that you're not putting them in the pretty people category where they definitely belong.
Yeah, no, they can be that, but that's what I'm saying.
Give me Steve
They're
Buscemi's,
interesting.
Danny DeVito's, Philip Seymour
That's-
Hoffman's.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah, Seymour Hoffman. All right.
You get more with men for some reason.
Yeah. Well, opportunity is a fun thing.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had on the
On
Rockets
that.
video thing.
Now we have to play our listeners some Andrew Tate and see how see if they're down or not.
And
Oh, please
then,
no.
speaking of podcasts and stuff, real quick here, because I'd like to get out of this pretty quickly, although the second quarter will not be very long. There are a number of, and this is just going to keep happening more and more. I don't know why it's so hot this week. I feel like this week it really popped off of NBA players on podcasts.
It's just dead season. Everyone's bored that follows the NBA only.
So we got Michael Porter Jr., who we've had a bunch of clips from him.
Yeah,
Beth
including what I just said, by the way, if y'all hadn't seen that. He did say on a podcast that he shows women Andrew Tate videos to gauge their wokeness, more or less. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said.
Does he want them to like it or not like it?
I don't know. Actually, the way he answered it, I think he kind of wanted them to just like not like agree with it, but to not like freak out about it. It was a very it's the median average voter bullshit that we laugh at, except for he's a rich one, you know,
Interesting.
in a limelight.
But I think he stepped in it with his gambling talk.
So yeah, then you have the gambling one where he basically, I'm paraphrasing again, where he basically is just like, you could tell your buddies to bet the under and then fake an illness or an injury or something, which is literally what his brother did, more or less.
Yeah.
And he's saying this recently after everything, which is important to know.
Yeah, and I was gonna say because it was tough when I was going through. A bunch of them were like recycled things, so I was trying to pick stuff that actually happened recently.
Yeah, no, there's some funny ones. Like the all-time ones are great too. Like if you send your kid to public school, they might come back as say they're a cat. That's pretty good.
Oh,
that one, when that came out, I knew the Nuggets did some good damage control. So I was like, why are people not enjoying this more? The other one that was funny was, and this one I know the Nuggets were pissed about, is he interviewed a porn star at some point, and she like said something about how, you know, basically just said this really heartfelt thing about how.
Wasn't that Blake Griffin podcast?
No. That was his podcast, but I believe this woman is allegedly Blake Griffin's.
Oh, got you.
So either way, I don't know the juicy details here, nor care. But anyway, this lady is basically explaining, you know, more or less her negative view on the industry she obviously made money off of. And he just looks at her and goes, damn, that's crazy. Which, if that doesn't summarize the access that these idiots with these rich, influential idiots have with mics.
His podcast is called Curious Mike.
Yeah, it's called Curious Mike, and he literally it's so stupid and it's so annoying because obviously you're having the Netanyahu meeting with the Nelk Boys, who is also who he said this to. Michael Porter's this recent comment is he's talking to these Nelk Boy guys, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Who?
The Nelk Boys. Yes, trust me, I've
NELK.
Yes. And basically they came up as prank humor bros, and now they have more or less helped Donald Trump become president again, and have most recently interviewed Benjamin Netanyahu. So yeah, these guys are, you know, they're dude bro culture. They are all a part of it. So Michael Porter Jr. is saying he's here. He's dude bro, get used to it. And I love it because he's kind of stupid. And I like when stupid people are loud, but also like we know, like they're not politicians. Like you're a basketball player. So if you say something stupid, we're going to laugh about it. We're going to know it. But at the same time, this hopefully doesn't impact a lot of people's opinions on anything.
Is it his brother in that podcast?
With him?
Nick
Maybe
Porter?
there's a bunch of
is the Nick
Porters.
Porter that's in Nelk his brother?
Oh, maybe. There's so many damn Porters, bro. I wouldn't. They have a bunch of kids,
I was trying to
and
figure out
like
what his
all of them
connection
had
there would be.
ACL
But
tears. Yeah, he's a wild one, bro.
interesting.
He is definitely one of those guys, and then he's going to be on such a bad Nets team. Like, I'm really excited to see him put up awful stats and then say the dumbest things possible, and probably be an all-star because that's how goofy the regular season is in the in NBA.
And then elsewhere we had Mo Bamba. He said one of his friends sent him an unemployment link whenever he was playing with the Jazz, and he got waived, which is funny. This one's less of him being an idiot. It's just kind of a funny one. I don't even know if that's a podcast or someone's stream.
No doubt. I think Mo Bamba should lean into what he's doing. Lean into the podcast thing. Basketball ain't for you. You're 7-something, and people forced you into this life. You made some money off of it. No harm, no foul. Go enjoy post-playing career.
And then lastly, the most interesting one to me is Carmelo Anthony saying the Nuggets gave Jokic 15 to erase Melo's legacy there. And then Jokic says, I've been wearing 15 my whole life.
And I put two things are true here on our notes because these are both factual. This
the Nuggets, it was probably more just like, we don't care. Go ahead and wear it.
Right. So I would assume that Nikola probably didn't have a lot of knowledge of this. And also Nikola probably has so you only go up to 5 in a lot of the big man is usually number 5 in a lot of European basketball situations. Then 15 is usually sort of supplanted with that depending on the options they have, right? So that's it. Naturally, the big man is usually in their country going to be a 5 or a 15. 15 is it. Actually, both I think Nikola has used. Carmelo left on pretty bad terms, but Carmelo also could have just walked away from the Nuggets and he forced them to trade him, which was absolutely not what the Knicks should have done when they acquired him. And he ended up helping them.
So I think my big counter here, I just wanted to check to make sure he's worn that number his whole career there. Wasn't he picked in the second round during a Taco Bell ad? I don't think they're like, this is what we're going to do to erase Carmelo, is this guy.
No. Well, I think it was in spite. And actually, I think that's the funny argument is if you do follow Carmelo's logic, then they basically gave it to some second round European fucker and were like, fuck you that much. And then LOL, it turns out to be the best player.
What I would say is you can keep giving it. All you're going to do is hurt that guy by everyone saying, well, that's not Melo.
Well, people forgot because Denver's not a national. Only Nuggets fans really cared, or someone like me who's probably cared a little too much about the history of things and doesn't like when their OCD flares up about stuff like this. You're like, no, there can only be 115. But at this point, both men have. Well, I don't know how. I guess Carmelo. This is the first time I think I've heard Carmelo even really address it. But I think Nikola is not I don't think they would not be able to retire 15 and put both names on the banner.
I don't know.
Obviously the franchise would have to choose to do that.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a bad look to retire Jokic's number, have a 15 up there, and not have Melo's number up there. But
for most players, I would agree, and maybe it's difficult because they're gonna feel like they owe him more than the average team feels like they owe a player.
Now,
yeah, they're the Cronkies. They're the people. They're the Rams and whatever other shit the Cronkies own.
I mean, I guess the argument to say, well, you don't have to retire 15 and have Melo on there as well. That Melo didn't bring you a title. He didn't bring you any real success as a franchise other than national relevance.
No, they got to the Western Conference Finals, and unfortunately for them, that was about as good as it got for a while.
Yeah, and those
teams,
that was kind of teams have to honor those guys.
Right? Yeah, was that the all headband lineup?
That was all headbands. Yeah, that was full headband lineup. I mean, yeah, the Nuggets had a very long time between Dikembe winning as an 8th seed in the 5-game scenarios back then, and Carmelo going to the Western Conference. And he was really good fresh out the gate. Like LeBron probably stole Rookie of the Year from Carmelo, and that's an interesting argument.
And I should
I
say,
remember
as a
that.
fan of the Texas Rangers, you do have to argue for honoring some of these guys who don't have titles because
Well, sure,
we
but like
need
when
some
you're
retired
sharing
numbers before we won one.
Yeah, I mean, no, that is a reality some franchises face, especially in baseball, where there's a more realistic expectation or reality on your championship hopes.
I do think, yeah, with his as time goes on, I think he will have his. I think Melo will be recognized there for his contribution to that era of keeping them around in Denver. I don't know if there was ever a worry they might move, but who knows?
I wouldn't say, well, maybe that. I would think the biggest issue that I am curious on, because they also have done nothing realistically about going back to baby blue. When Nicola first got there,
Yes,
they were still
please.
sort of doing baby
Yeah,
blue.
he's on the old logo. Yeah,
But they really weren't doing a lot, and they phased it out
Bring those
completely,
back.
which really, to me, nothing ties them to Carmelo Anthony more than those jerseys. And so that's where I do wonder.
Those were some of my favorite jerseys during that era, man. Just
And
a
I
nice,
do
clean
wonder if
look.
there's some intentionality with the franchise. Look, the Mavericks and Mark Cuban were still holding grudges against Mark Aguirre for something that he did to fucking Don Carter. This is not logic. This is really goofy shit.
for all we know, that could have been part of the sale. Is you're not allowed to honor Mark Aguirre.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what we got for the first quarter. We'll hold a funeral here in the next.
We're
quarter.
ending the baseball season early, guys.
Yeah.